with way more confidence? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to unlock a super simple framework to help you do exactly that. Let's dive right in. You know that feeling? Your heart starts beating a little faster the moment you have to speak English? Don't worry, that is completely normal. In fact, it's probably the biggest hurdle for most learners out there. But here's the good news. It's a hurdle we can definitely learn to clear together. Every big journey starts with that first step. And when it comes to speaking English, that first step has nothing to do with memorizing grammar rules or vocabulary lists. Nope. It all starts right up here, with your mindset. I want you to really let this sink in for a moment. Mistakes are just proof that you're learning. Think about it. Every single time you stumble over a word, you're not failing, you're trying, you're in the game. And that one little shift in how you see things, well, that's the real foundation for confidence. So let's just agree to let go of perfection, okay? The goal isn't to sound like a professional news anchor on day one. It's just to connect with someone, to share an idea. Short sentences, they're great. Simple words, absolutely perfect. Just start. Fluency, that'll catch up later, I promise. So we've got our mindset right. Now, how do we make it stick? Well, we turn it into a daily habit, because this is where the real progress, where the magic really starts to happen. And you want to know the best part? We're not talking about hours of boring study. We're just talking about this, 10, maybe 20 minutes a day. That's it. That small, consistent effort is what builds real, lasting skill. Okay, so what do you actually do in those 10 to 20 minutes? Here's a simple, really powerful routine. Start by talking to yourself in a mirror. I know it sounds a little silly, but seeing your mouth move really helps connect the dots in your brain. When you learn a new word, say it out loud 3 times to build that muscle memory. And then, and this is a big one, record yourself. Listening back is one of the fastest ways to actually hear your own progress. Once you've got that habit going, you can start sharpening your tools. And that means focusing on the very building blocks of clear speech, the individual sounds of the English language. One of the biggest keys to being understood is getting your vowels right. Just listen to the difference here. Sit versus seat, or ship versus sheep. That tiny little change in sound completely changes the meaning of the word. Nailing this is a huge step forward. And it's not just vowels, of course. Think about a classic challenge with consonants, like R and L, rice versus lice. Go ahead, try saying that. Can you actually feel where your tongue is inside your mouth for each of those sounds? That physical awareness is the secret to getting it right. So here's a direct challenge for you. Can you really hear that difference? I want you to say these out loud right now wherever you are. Ship, sheep, rice, lice. That simple act of listening to yourself and repeating is how you forge that connection between your ears, your brain, and your voice. All right, so we've got the right mindset. We've got our daily practice routine down. Now it's time for the fun part, putting it all into practice and actually starting a conversation. And you don't have to worry about what you're going to say. Think of this as your secret weapon, a simple 5-step template for introducing yourself. This is your safety net. It gives you a clear path so you never feel totally lost for words. And here's what that template looks like in a real conversation. It's just a simple, friendly exchange, right? See how Sarah just naturally follows those steps? It creates a really natural flow. This is exactly what you're aiming for. So here's your first mission. Craft your own 20 to 40-second introduction. Practice it over and over until it feels totally natural coming out of your mouth. This is a small, achievable win that's going to give you a huge boost of momentum. And finally, let's talk about how we make this confidence last. This is all about the inner game, managing that fear and making speaking English truly a part of who you are. So how do you handle that anxiety when it pops up in the moment? It's all about taking it step by step. Start really small, even with single words. Use short, simple sentences. And this is so important. Celebrate every single small win. Every time you try, you're succeeding. And always, always remember that core message. Mistakes just mean you're learning. And if you feel that physical panic starting to rise, try this. A slow breath in for 4 counts, hold it gently for 2, and then breathe out slowly for 4 counts. This isn't just some mental trick. It actually physically slows down your heart rate. It puts you back in control so you can speak from a place of calm. I want you to always remember this. Confidence is not a personality trait you're born with. It's a skill. And just like a muscle, The more you practice using it, the stronger it gets. Every single time you open your mouth to speak, you're doing another rep.
So really, the only question left is this: what will you say first? Your journey doesn't start tomorrow or next week. It starts with your very next sentence. You've got this. Go for it.